Have you ever noticed that the words just kidding usually follows up a good poke in the eye? Now, we've all been there. We're hanging out socially, having a good time. And then there's this passive aggressive, immature, insecure, socially maladjusted idiot that likes to stir up trouble, mess with people, crack jokes at other people's expense, play games, cut people down. And when they get called out on it, they say, just kidding, as if that absolves them of all their wrongdoings, as if their comment wasn't the issue. It's the fact that the target of that comment just didn't have a good sense of humor, or they were too sensitive and can't take a joke. Let's be clear, I'm not talking about an innocent mistake, a bad joke, or a comment where somebody didn't know their audience and inadvertently hurt or offended someone. This isn't about being thin-skinned or having a poor sense of humor, not being able to take a joke. I'm talking about people who would intentionally malign others under the guise of playing around. Just kidding. They essentially want to take a free kick on goal without bearing any responsibility for their words or actions. These are covert bullies and abusers. They say things to sting, embarrass, or expose their target. They often issue backhanded compliments or make statements that, while they may be true to some degree, this truth is meant to be used as a weapon against their target. Just kidding is a way of excusing bad behavior, like how people try to explain away their misdeeds or their loose tongue due to intoxication or some other external event or force. Hey, if these people want to wander through life like a giant 3-year-old with endless excuses for their bad behavior, that's fine. But it's our choice whether or not we want to participate in these games or be around such toxic people. Like I say, let people be who they are, and then you decide to what degree you are willing to allow them into your life. There is no rule or law that says I need to put up with bad behavior or excuse it. There are many reasons why someone might act like this. This is just a short list of those reasons. They might be insecure and socially awkward. They might be testing you to see if you'll put up with their BS and take their abuse. Maybe they're jealous of you and they feel that they need to knock you down a peg or two so they don't have to feel like a lesser person. Maybe they're just socially maladjusted and they don't know how to get positive attention. Kind of like the kid who teases the other kids because he'd rather be seen as a jerk than not seen at all. They are just kidding. And yet it seems that everyone else is the butt of their jokes. Jokes are meant to make the audience laugh, not the person who is telling the joke. These aren't jokes. They're thinly veiled insults. And you need to have the self-respect to call it out as for what it is. Now, of course, we all have the potential to say something out of turn or unintentionally offend or hurt someone's feelings. And if that's the case, instead of saying, just kidding, one should own their mistake and say, I'm sorry. For the record, people who do this repeatedly are not your friends. Or their definition of friend is very different from mine. I shouldn't have to be on guard around friends and family. I shouldn't have to be on the ready around friends and family to defend against such attacks. These types of people are always setting someone else up for the fall. They want to put others down to prop themselves up. And when they get called out, they pull the just kidding card. And if you or somebody else points out that their joke isn't funny or it's insensitive, all too often they double down and accuse the victim of their abuse that they don't have a sense of humor. If you react to them strongly by hauling them up short or giving them a piece of your mind, or maybe you decide to retaliate with a zinger of your own, these people will play the victim and tell everyone how mean you are. Gosh, I was just joking. I wonder what's gotten into them, as if you're the one with the problem. Their goal is to make you look bad, one way or another, so don't play into their hand. This is their game. They've been honing these skills for years, if not decades. This is their game. But that doesn't mean that you can't beat them at their own game. The best course of action is to draw them out into the open. Passive-aggressive people like this are cowards. They don't like to be exposed. That's why they take their shots from cover. So what can we do in such a situation? Well, first and foremost, we need to remain calm and unfazed. Don't let them know that they got under your skin. These people live for the reactions of others. It makes them feel empowered and in control. The key is to focus the attention back on them and expose them to the audience that they're trying to impress. Secondly, you have to say something. You have to say, I'm sorry, was that a joke? I don't get it. And then insist that they explain their joke in front of the same audience that they were trying to impress at your expense. You might say something like, excuse me, what did you mean by that comment? And have you ever noticed that when somebody tries to explain a joke, it usually winds up being very awkward for the comic? Jokes have a way of becoming less funny the more someone tries to explain them. Number 3, remove your attention. These people feed off of reactions. Stop offering them supply. Call them out politely and then remove yourself. Don't keep offering these toxic people a stage. If you aren't around, they're going to need to find someone else to play with. And never play into the so-called joke. Self-deprecating humor should be reserved for those who you know well and those who have shown care for you. Try to laugh it off when someone makes an ass out of you, and you can expect them to run it into the end zone. You're actually helping them make a fool out of you. You can call it out directly in a confrontational manner, a soft confrontation. For example, you might say, was that a shot? Because it felt like a shot. Is there something you want to say? Is there something on your mind? And you say this while maintaining a confident but not aggressive eye contact. This lets the person know that you aren't backing down and they should go find another target for their nonsense. Again, don't do this too strongly because then they'll play the victim card and tell everybody how mean you are. Most of these abusers, their knee-jerk reaction to the above will be to flip the script and take on the victim role. Well, gosh, I was just joking. Why do they always take things so seriously? Boy, they sure are sensitive. When they accuse you of not being able to take a joke, understand that they're doubling down on offending you. And what you need to do is look them dead in the eyes and say, I can take a joke. I do have a good sense of humor. However, I do know the difference between a joke and a pot shot, and that was a pot shot. Now that you know who you're dealing with, a passive-aggressive coward who tries to cut others down to feel better about themselves, or someone who feels jealous and insecure about you, and they want to cut you down to size. Maybe this person just wants to make a fool out of you because they think it'll win them points with some other person or group. Maybe they're just an idiot and they have no idea how to interact with others in a healthy manner. You see this all the time in grade schools where some kid has no idea how to get the other kids to play with him. So he might steal their hat and run around the park hoping someone's going to chase him. Or he might throw stuff at other kids hoping to get a reaction. Because as they say, any reaction is better than no reaction. And in life, it's often easier to get bad attention than to put the work and sacrifice in to get attention for positive things. My advice, Get rid of these people. Whether they're mean-spirited or socially stunted, that's a debate best left for the academic world. All you need to know is this person, for whatever reason, is not able to be a proper friend. And trust me, you're not going to teach them. The reasons for their problems really don't matter. We're not diagnosticians. We are not this person's therapist or counselor. What's going on with them and why they act in such an antisocial manner is none of our concern. It's not our problem. Just walk away and don't look back. Phase yourself out, be busy, stop taking their calls, find better people to be around, because these people will bring you down if they can. And most important, understand that if there does come a point where you need the support and care of your friends, maybe you're going through a tough time or you've taken a shot over the bow and you're seeking the comfort and strength from your support system, these people won't be around. And if they are, they will be prepared with the "I told you so's," and then they'll proceed to rub some salt into the wound. These people aren't your friend. They don't know what a friend is, and they're incapable of being a friend. So again, just walk away and don't look back. Let somebody else deal with these losers. Remember, some jokes aren't really jokes. They're meant to get a reaction and or cut someone down. Understand the difference between a poorly conceived or received attempt at humor and a verbal attack hidden behind the guise of a joke. Don't allow people to chip away at your self-worth. And once you recognize this sort of person is in your life, you need to figure out how to remove them, or at the least minimize their presence and impact in your life. Now, per usual, if you got something out of this video, please like and subscribe. It only takes a few seconds, and it would make me very happy. New content drops every Wednesday at 3 p.m. And until next time, thank you for joining me, and have a great day.